What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be messing with the EG4 24k BTU hybrid mini split. It can run off of solar only or AC only or a combination of the two. I'll put a link up above because this is a unit that I already owned. We had it installed on our fifth wheel that saved us a ton of money on propane while we were waiting for our house to be here. Now our house is here. Someone put it on the house. These things are so plug and play, crazy simple. It's amazing. But there's an extra step because this was already installed. So let me flip you around and I'll bring you over here and tell you what I've done so far and what we're going to have to do. Let's get it. I've already went ahead and I brought a couple of buckets of this gravel here. I got a whole pile of it that I ordered a long time ago, but this is come in handy so much. Put a couple of buckets of the gravel here. I put my pavers up there. I wet it all down so that it would pack down. Used a concrete drill bit to drill through the blocks, and I put those anchor bolts there. All right, so the mini split itself, it's good to go right there, sitting there. Before I moved it and everything, when I unhooked everything, I used brand new clean gloves, and then I zip tied them on so no debris would get down in here because I couldn't find all the stuff that actually came with this when I bought it, I don't know, 2 years ago or whatever. Okay, so this is the cardboard cutout that I made. As you can see, I got little feet here, and right behind those is where that metal bracket would clip in right there. And with this flush on both sides, I made this little cutout here for the refrigerant lines, and I kind of did a little circle thing so that I could slap this up on the wall and do a little rough measurement. But if you look at the instructions for this thing, EG4's got great instructions. If you look in the instructions, it tells you exactly how to measure with a measuring tape. What you'll do is the metal bracket that this connects to, you mount that on the wall, and then you get your measuring tape, and I believe it says something about, I think it's 4.5 inches, 4 3/4 inches from the center of where that metal bracket would sit right there. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's in the instructions, okay? That will tell you how to do it, or you can cheat like me and use a template of some sort. All right, so I've got the bracket. This is the inside of our double pane door here. I measured it out from the right side of this leg here. You only need 8 inches to the end of the mini split, which comes out to about right here. So I'll have enough space to clear that. And from the top of the bracket here to the ceiling, I think you only need about 2 1/4 or 2.5 inches. I gave myself a little over 3 inches for the ceiling. And yeah, so now either make you the cheat sheet cutout or use the one that come with your brand new mini split, or you can use the instructions to measure over from this leg, and then you would measure up. It tells you the exact inches in the manual. But yeah, you would go over and then up, and then I believe it's a 3 3/8 inch hole you put there. And you want to drill it with a slight downward motion so that the drain tube that connects to the mini split has easier time draining out the other side of the house. All right, and after you cut your hole all the way through, get you a buddy so that when you pick that thing up, they can guide the lines through the hole. Or if you've got 3 hands, you could probably just do it by yourself. But it's in there, it's mounted up. Like I said, there's a couple inches in between there, so it fits perfectly. The lines, I got them over as far as I could. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of bend them down this way and run it down to the mini split. L1, L2, and then you would add the ground for your AC power. If you're gonna hook this to AC power, it's just 2 hot legs at 240 volt, true 240. 1, 2, and then a ground. And just like that, the head unit is wired in. 1, 2, 3, ground. See it? Yep. All right, we'll be back. So there's a couple of different things that I always keep from Amazon because you never know when you'll need it. One is this foam. They send this all the time, and it comes in handy. I'm about to use a piece of it, and I'll show you where. Or this. This is a different kind of insulation And I saved these too. You never know when you're going to need them for some kind of project. All right. Okay, so I cut me a piece of that foam and I trimmed it to go in above all of those lines. And then after that, I went and got the piece out of the hole saw that is the outer part of the wall. And I stuffed that in, and then I covered that with caulk. So it should be a good seal. This is the type of caulk that when it dries, it'll come out clear. And then I can just paint it this color of the wall. Cause yeah, so I got the larger diameter copper pipe connected to the top. I straightened it out all the way down. I'm doing one little curved and loop, and I'm gonna connect that, the bit larger side to the top one. And then I will get the 1/4 inch line and do the same thing. And I'll be back. All right, so that is about what she's gonna look like. There's a little bit of a bend here, but I used a pair of pliers to squeeze it, like right here, top and bottom, and it kind of brought it back out a little bit around. I put some zip ties to kind of zip tie the power cord all the way down. Now, if you're planning on being legal with your county, you need UL listed conduit, UL listed wire, and a UL listed 20 amp 2-pole breaker, so you can get true 240 to this. All right, now as for the electrical line here, I just have it on the outside of the skirting here for now because I just wanted to get a nice length, and I added a little extra to it so it'd be a little easier to manage other than that whole roll. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this conduit here. And then let me show you where I got it going in the house here, because so that's my power pole from, you know, from my inverters and batteries, comes into that, and then it comes into the house right here. And it goes up. And I drilled a 1-inch hole right there. That liquid tight conduit is a 1/2 inch. So honestly, I should be able to just shove that up in the hole, and the wire will be completely protected from all of the underneath of the house. So what I did is I stretched out the conduit, and then I stretched out the wire, and I shoved the wire all the way through the conduit before connecting it on this side, which is just the 2 hots and a ground. And I have it going into the house underneath here, and then I have it connected to the underside of the belly of the house all the way down over to where the breaker box is. The conduit, because like I said, the hole is I drilled a 1-inch hole, and the inner diameter of the conduit is 1/2 inch. The outer diameter is 1 inch. So it fits snugly up in the hole. So it's conduit in all of the open area under the house, all the way to the unit. And then through the wall, it's just the wire, and then it connects to the breaker panel. And you'll see that in a second. All right, inside the house, we have the power wire coming up and over to the 20 amp breaker. That is 2-pole, as you can see. The other leg is coming from the other side. And don't worry about this white wire. This white wire actually identifies as a black wire because it's 2 hots and a ground, and that's what we got on the other side too. This doesn't call for a neutral, so I'll color it black with a Sharpie to make you feel better. But that's that. And I went ahead and got my PV hooked up. And the PV wire, I got it running next to the house. This isn't the final of how it's going to look, because we're eventually going to try to get a solar carport, and the panels for this unit will go on the solar carport as well as the solar panels for the house. But I got the panels over here. Let me walk over there. I'll show you. All right. So I have 8 of these. There's 7 sitting here right now. The 8th one is on that 5th wheel over there. I'm going to get that down today and add to this. But just super simple. I've got old telephone poles because these were on our property when we bought it. So that didn't cost me anything. I just laid them on the ground, and then I ran them in series. So the positive comes out right there. The negative comes out the other panel on the top side. And it goes positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and the main positive and negative are going to the house, as you can see by the wire there. Easy peasy. All right, well, if your unit was brand new, you're done. You don't need to do anything else because these units come pre-charged with Freon in the unit. The lines come vacuumed and the head unit comes sealed. So once you connect everything, there are two Allen fittings in here. You take both of these off and then you unscrew that Allen fitting all the way out and then turn it back in about a quarter turn, and it will release the refrigerant and the vacuum and everything across the whole system and equalize itself out. You're done. But if you're like me and you owned this before and you had to uninstall it and move it, the next video will be for you. I had to hire somebody because I don't have the equipment to do this. They came out and they recovered all the refrigerant out of this. Like this is obviously the aftermath. Everything's done right now, but the next video will show you the steps of, well, not the recovery process because I don't have that machine, but I will show you how to fill this with Freon at home with cheap Harbor Freight tools. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.